During the World War II, a B-17 bomber aircraft mysteriously landed on the surface of Belgium where a RAF unit was held in their camps. However, the landing was so scary that everyone, including the general of the RAF camp, was shook to its core. This is the story of the ghost plane of the 1940s. On a chilly November 1944, when an anti-aircraft stationed in Kottenburg, Belgium, saw a large plane coming towards them. The RAF unit recognized the plane as an American B-17. The sighting was strange because the landing gear was down and the plane was coming in fast. There was no landing scheduled, and so as the men on the ground assumed that the plane was making an emergency landing. They were correct, but the reason for the emergency landing was something they never expected. The plane landed and looked largely intact. The landing was rough and bouncy. It was clear to the men on the ground that something was wrong with the whole situation as the plane nearly clipped a wing before coming to a stop in the open field. For 20 minutes, no one approached the plane, waiting for the crew to come out. After 20 minutes of nothing, Major John V. Crisp cautiously approached the B-17. When the hatch opened, the silence within the plane was more deafening than the roar of the engines. There was not a single human on the aircraft. Not a single person was found on the plane, but there were evidence that the crew had been on the plane recently. There were half-eaten candy bars and a navigator's code book with the colors of the day. The forensic experts said that the candies were much fresh as been eaten 17 hours ago. The forensic was done 5 hours after the landing of the B-17. Even more mysterious was the neatly packed parachutes, enough for the entire crew completely untouched. It looked at first that the crew had completely vanished and the plane had just landed itself. After the hike of this paranormal story, which went rolling in all over the United States and Germany, there were a set of 10 soldiers which claimed to the investigation team and the unit in charge that they were the real crew in the B-17 bomber aircraft. The investigation team had recovered the real pilot of the plane with the aircraft's serial number, and the pilot's name was Harold R. Diebold. According to the crew and the pilot, they had a mission to bomb an oil plant in Germany for which they were heading straight. But in the middle of the air, when the bombing was happening, the aircraft had reached a certain height which was uncontrollable for them to stable in. In between, they got struck with the light, the pilot said, which made the plane go more unstable and the speed with which they were rolling down. The plane was about to hit the ground and they had very less time to jump off the plane, not even time to hook up their parachutes. So near the Sea of Brussels, Pilot Diebold tried to stable the plane and told everyone to jump. As he was the last one to jump, he had turned off the manual engines and turned on the plane in autopilot. One of the crew members stated that when they jumped, it was at least a height that could kill easily anyone if they dipped under the water. But he quoted that we had no option. In the middle of the air, a ball of light again struck the whole crew, and they were blown towards the shore of the sea. He said it happened in milliseconds. Only this was the crew member who had remembered what happened after they jumped off the plane. The unit and investigation team rejected this crew member's story and closed the case after verifying them that they were surely in the plane.
Signal from the pilot. The motors change their note on the big planes after circling the drome on the perimeter road, swing into wind, and roar down the tarmac for the takeoff.
After several days of speculations and investigations, the unit had made a theory. Here it is. While at first it seemed like a bizarre ghost story and spread throughout the military as such, but now we have found the crew and the truth is much simpler. The plane malfunctioned and took a hit, which made the plane unable to fly. The crew bailed out of the plane to lighten the load. Everyone jumped into the water when the plane was bit down on the sea level. The problem with the engines seemed to resolve itself and the B-17 flew itself again. However, without all of its engine functioning, it was not able to stay in the air and it performed a landing that was witnessed by the RAF crew in the autopilot mode. It was an era of World War II, and there were reports and myths surrounding with the stories of haunted soldiers as well as mysterious lights in the sky. From the ghost of the world wars to the sighting of the UFOs, various news and articles related to a lot of paranormal activities from the dead of the warfares and unidentified flying objects in the sky were recorded. So what happened to the crew? How they survived? If they really jumped out of the plane from a certain height that could kill them? Even if the theory of the crew bailing out of the plane in low height just to lighten the aircraft is correct, was there a real lighter ball that struck them in midair and teleported them to the seashore? Or was it really that the crew members just wanted to attain fame with the story as the search for the crew was a breaking article that time? The reality was that the plane had landed itself and the plane did not show any sign of getting hit by any missiles or bombs. The reality is that according to their situation, when the engines of the plane went down in midair, they really had no choice but to jump out without wasting a minute. But jumping from a height of double the mountain could not save any of the crew members. So was it a miracle and a lucky day for the plane and the crew members? Or it was just another UFO strikes that happened with them according to the news surrounding in military? This still remains a mystery how the plane and the crew survived. So let's target 100 likes on this video. Thanks for watching Rugged and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon for latest updates. Also feel free to mail me new ideas, stories, topics and I'll surely mention you in the credits for sure.